Welcome back to High Class Gear. Get yourself ready for another great video. You won't find anyone with more realistic and intriguing stories from the big 80s and the weird 90s than this channel. If you came here looking for something strange, creepy, car chases, police fights, stupid mistakes that came back to get me, or even for a little bit of knowledge, you've definitely come to the right place. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you stay up to date with all the great content coming your way. The following story takes place in the year 1982 when I was 8 years old. It was the second time of the day that we'd refused to make the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mr. Anderson had grown tired of our silent disobedience. He snatched us by the arms once again, but this time, instead of walking us down to the principal's office, he took us further down the hall just past the boiler room. He'd commanded us to grab our book bags on our way out of the classroom. "I'm so sick of you goddamn kids," he raged while pulling us by the arms, our feet barely touching the ground. "Mr. Anderson, I do my work. I'm one of the first to finish along with him," Taco pointed to me. "I don't disturb my neighbor, I don't get up to sharpen my pencil, I do everything, sir," Taco went on. Mr. Anderson didn't want to hear that, and when I attempted to protest, he silenced me as well. "I don't like this job, but one thing I'll have at this job is order. You're gonna follow these rules. You don't break the rules break you." He looked down at us with his reddened face. I felt like he was not just talking to us when he said that statement, but he was talking to himself as well. When we finally reached our destination, he pulled a bunch of keys out of the front left pocket of his dress pants, and unlocked a thick metal door, swung it open, and tossed us inside. There was a strong smell of ammonia in the room. There was no window, no paintings on the wall like all the schoolrooms. Instead, there was dull, peeling yellowish-orange paint, almost the color of puke, and black stains on the wall. There was one large metal desk that had dusty papers on it and two wooden chairs facing it. "You boys wait here. I'll bring someone who will show you what love for America really is. Oh yeah, you're gonna see." He stormed out, his walk sounding like horses' hooves while leaving us in the dark silence of the room. I turned to Taco, who was holding both his book bag and mine. "What do you think they're gonna do to us?" I spoke to him in Spanish in case someone was listening in from outside. "I don't know. I've never been in this situation. All I can do is just ask Lord Jehovah God for help." Taco shrugged, and he then turned to his bag, unzipped it, and took out some Watchtower Bible and Tract Society literature and started reading it. I sat in silence, feeling the coldness of the room. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I had to prepare myself for whatever that was going to be. Nothing would have prepared us as 8-year-old school-going boys for what came next. I heard the hoofbeats of Mr. Anderson drawing near again, but there was another pair of feet with him. When he entered the room, someone quickly came in behind him and slammed the large metal door behind himself. "Don't want to show school spirit, huh? Don't want to be grateful to the greatest country on earth ever created? Well, today you'll see what we do to commies and anti-Americans." Mr. Anderson looked at us with a scowl while waving over to the man to the left of him. He looked to me like a janitor. He was wearing a boiler suit that had black spots on it. He had dirty, black, scraggly, shoulder-length hair and wild-looking green eyes with acne-littered skin. Thinking on it now, I would say he looked something like Michael Myers from Halloween. In his hand was a large device that I had no idea what it was. The Michael Myers guy was breathing heavy. I could see his chest going up and down while he was almost panting. What the hell is going on? "Boys, you can stop all this now if you just adore the flag. Stand up right now, declare the Pledge of Allegiance, and do so from here on in, and this stops. But if you don't..." Mr. Anderson paused for effect. He looked at the janitor guy who was smiling while slapping the paddle back and forth in the palm of his left hand. "Well, I warned you. Now you'll feel the wrath. Get your ass over here." Mr. Anderson charged us. We tried to run in different directions around the room. Taco made a move for the door, but could not turn the knob and was grabbed by the scruff of his neck like a newborn kitten. He was pulled around the table and violently shaken, which made him drop the Watchtower literature on the floor next to him while the Michael Myers guy stepped on them with his soot-covered brown dicky boots. Mr. Anderson positioned Taco at the table while the janitor guy wound up the paddle like he was up for bat at a Mets game and brought it down on the backside of Taco. When it connected, the sound was like the gym mat hitting the gymnasium floor in our PE class. But this was a paddle with holes in it connecting with Taco's buttocks. He let out a yell I didn't think a human being could release. I was transfixed for a moment. watching Mr. Anderson grimace with effort while holding Taco and the Michael Myers dude winding up and bringing the paddle down again and again. I thought they might kill my friend. I had to help him. I charged them and tried to push the janitor guy, and with my free hands. I even tried to pry Mr. Anderson's hands from the body of Taco, who was yelling in horror and calling on Jehovah God and for them to stop. Taco's pants had come down, and for some of the paddle swats, the only barrier between the paddle and Taco's bare flesh was his boxer shorts. I was just too small. I couldn't stop them, but I had distracted them. They threw Taco across the room, and he bounced against one of the walls and toppled to the floor. "Save me, Jehovah God!" he uttered while dropping to his knees and clasping his hands in earnest and looking skyward. The two men snorted like bulls in his direction and then turned their attention to me. "Yeah, get him over the table too!" Michael Myers yelled. He readied the paddle while Mr. Anderson yelled orders. "Stand next to the desk! Put your hands on the desk, you little yellow bastard!" he barked at me. By now both Taco and I were crying, but we'd gone too far to give up. We'd suffered too much to submit. We had to bear this out. "Pull your pants down," Mr. Anderson commanded me. "No!" I yelled. The room echoed and Mr. Anderson and Michael Myers flinched. "Have it your way," Myers replied and swung the paddle down, and it thundered against my backside. The pain was unimaginable, and I almost lost consciousness from the pain and toppled over. When I got to my feet, I timed my hand to get in between my backside and the paddle coming in with speed. He must have swung that thing about 10 or 20 times at me, and each time it hit either the palm or the outside part of my right hand. The two men finished with this horror, and they were staring at us, panting, covered in sweat. I looked down at my hand and I felt like I could hear the sound of it swelling as it went from its normal size to that of a massive Eggo waffle. It even had the pattern of the paddle imprinted on it. I was crying, Taco was crying, but the two men were still dissatisfied. We'd not adored the flag, we'd not apologized, we'd not said the Pledge of Allegiance. I wonder if this is going to happen tomorrow. I might have to call in sick. Is my hand broken? Is it sprained? Is it going to fall off? All these questions flooded my mind while I sat on the floor cross-legged, holding my right wrist with the left hand, and trying to will my hand to open and close, but it would not, it could not, it was swollen beyond belief. What I learned that day was that patriotism and propaganda does frightening things to people. In normal circumstances, these two men would not have dreamed of putting their hands on children like this and brutalizing them. They would never think of beating someone else's children for something so mundane and frivolous as getting up and adoring a piece of cloth. But as much as Mr. Anderson accused us of not conforming, I believe he was not just beating us for disobeying what he thought was the greatest country ever made in history. He was also beating us to try to drive out any doubts he might have in himself. By becoming the brute and pointing out the odd man in the crowd, he took the attention off his own misgivings, doubts, and nagging suspicions. Maybe that's why he brought the janitor guy with him. This guy had the worst job in the school, but he'd use him as a witness to show, hey, I'm a die-hard red-blood American. Look at me, look at me. I thought that Mr. Anderson and Michael Myers were just as much prisoners of their country as the communists under the Soviet Union they always preached about. Maybe more so. I can't wait to get out of detention and go home. Man, I hope that these guys don't make me late for my bus. If you enjoy these videos and what we do here, subscribe to the High Class Gear channel, give us a like, and hit the notification bell so you always get updates on new content every week. Help us on the way to 1,000 subscribers. We upload unique and engaging videos every week for you to enjoy. Stay safe out there.